here. Let's see if it bounces. Oh, and does something a little crazy when it does hit that paddle. All right, come on, paddle. You can do this. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, yeah, a little bit of ricochet action. Okay, it works. I'm going to go ahead and stop that, and we're ready to go on to the next. We're going to have game over show up just so that, it's kind of fun to have a game go badly. Sometimes it's fun to see it be over, game over. All right, so the way to show that will be to get a line at the bottom of your screen. All right, to do that, it's another sprite. Choose sprite, and we're just going to one called line. ABCs all the way up to the L's to find the red line. So we've got a red line, and they would like us to drag the line to the bottom of the stage. Now I'm going to move that paddle up a little just to give everybody some room. Now, of course, the paddle's job in this sport is to protect the line. Your mouse is supposed to help it move to protect the line so the ball never touches the line. But if it does touch the line, game over. All right, to do that, our line will actually have to have some code all on its own. So I'm clicking line so I can give it some code. Mind you, the paddle's code is still there. The ball's code is still there. I'm just making new code for the line. I'm going to start out with the events, and of course when the green flag is clicked, then go to the XY axis. Hey, that's going or moving to a certain position on your backdrop. So I'm looking for go to, and then I'm going to end up having to type in some numbers because their numbers are not right. We need go to X as 0, X will be 0, and Y will be negative 170. All right, got negative 173, that's close. All right, there we go, make sure you have a negative. All right, so X is 0, Y is negative 170. Now we need a loop. That will be in the controls. We'll want a forever loop. And holy cow, another loop inside the loop. An if-then statement. Yes, another conditional. In this case, if that red line is touching the ball. So I need to find something with arrows on either side that is touching the ball. That's going to be in the sensing codes. All right, now I've got touching mouse pointer. I just need to click that arrow to the right. Like you can change what is there if you see an arrow. Touching, and I need the ball. So if the ball is touching that red line. Okay, got it. Now I can take that code and squeeze it in that little triangular, almost angular place there. If touching the ball, then what happens if it's touching the ball? Oh, game over. We need to stop the whole thing, and that happens to be a control code. The control codes start and stop. All right, there we go, stop all. Let's test it out. So it's going to test my skills. I want to make sure that my paddle's moving so the ball does not touch the red line. I'm going to click the green flag. Oh, it touched it right away. I am going to have to pick the ball up, set it in the middle, start again. This time, I've got to be a better player. All right, I saved it. I saved it. Oh, I couldn't save it that time. But you can tell the game is over. It stops. All right, the next set is to score points. Once your paddle successfully actually saves that ball, let's score. All right, to do that, we need to be giving a code to the ball so that, when the ball is saved, it actually scores. All right, so I'm clicking ball. Yeah, it has all these codes that you had there. Leave them there. You need them. You're just going to add something. You're going to add this change score by 1 code. To find the change score by 1, it is the bright variable orange, like a UT orange, and it will say change, and what we need to say is score. All right, let's see here. Oh, I'm seeing what's going on. We need to make a variable called score. All right, so we're in variables. We're in the brightest of orange variables, and we need to click make a variable. We need to make this thing score. So this is all in your directions. Just type score, S-C-O-R-E. We're going to leave it at for all sprites. Cool. And okay. So you made a variable called score. Cool. Now we can do this. So the code we want is change score. Now, right now, change has a little arrow to the right. Ah, yes. Your score is there. You can change your score. We only want to give you 1 point. This is not basketball, right? You don't need 2 or 3 points. And we want that to happen right after it touches that paddle. So instant gratification. You save it with the paddle, you score right then. All right, that was it. Oh, by the way, every time you start the game, you want it to zero out. So you just start with a 0 score at the beginning of a game. So let's make one little set of code to do that. So when the green flag is clicked, we are also going to have that variable or score set at 0. So set, and let's see, we're going to have to change that to score to 0. So when we start at 0. You know, that's what all games do. All right, now we're ready to test. Let's see if we can score. Oh, I'm going to start my ball in the middle to give me a fair shot. All right, here we go. Oh, man. That was, hey, I got a point. I got another one. Oh, cool. Aha, 3. All right, cool. All right, I am really scoring on this. Every time I save it, I score. All right, I'm ready. Game over, I get that. All right, I'm done. I know that worked. So I can click stop, and I'm ready to go to the next set of directions. Win the game. All right, so you want something cool to happen, like you won, big winner, all-time winner, or something like that. To do that, we need to paint a sign for you saying you won. To paint something or make an additional screen or sign, it's not choosing a sprite. You're going to kind of make your own sprite by clicking paint. You're going to choose an image or design an image to just show up and be your sprite. The one I'm going to do is using the text tool, and I'm just going to say, you won, and I'm going to use an exclamation mark. Now that by itself, I'm sorry, it does not look that exciting. So I'm going to highlight it and kind of work with it. I'm going to change the font to be maybe a thicker font. I'm not crazy about the color. I'm going to change it to kind of a bright yellow color because I think that'll show up the best on that backdrop I have. And I'm going to click one of these corner tabs and kind of resize it to be kind of big. All right, okay, that's cool. And, you know, if you get crazy, you could make like 2 or 3 things, like you won, you won, you won, all over the place. But, you know, I'm going to stick with that for right now. All right, we've got this. And right now, you might have noticed you are in the Costumes tab. That means you are decorating or changing the look or costume of this particular sprite. I decorated it with words. You won. All right, I'm done with that. I need to give it some code. I want it to show up. The code will tell it when to show up. So to give my you won picture some code, I have to have it selected, I do, and go to Events, choose the first, of course, when the green flag is clicked. Then I'm going to change the appearance. I want it hidden, you know, until I actually win. I don't want it to show up till I win. So I have to go to the purple looks code, and I'm going with hide, the first one. And then, you know, I actually have to wait till I get a score. So this wait is actually a code. It's a control because it's kind of controlling when something happens. So instead of wait a number of seconds, I'm going to have it wait for something in particular. Okay, now I'm going to go with wait until. And what do you know? I'm getting one of these little arrow kind of codes. Those arrow kind of codes are typically variables. Wait until my score. All right, wait, my score. Oh, actually, it's saying I have to have that within an operator. Crazy. The score equals 5. So something equals 5. All right, so I've got something equals and a number. I'm going to have to go with that. Wait until something equals a number. I'm going to change that number right away to 5. I'm not going to score 50. I'll guarantee you that. All right, so something equals 5. Now I need to find that score. It's in variables. It's a name. It's called score. Okay, so wait until my score equals 5. Whew, I had to go to the controls for the wait until. I had to go to operators for the little arrowed place that equals 5. And to find my variable, my score, I had to go to the bright, bright orange score. All right, cool. Now I need one more look code. This is all in the directions. I want now, if it does get to 5, I want to show this thing that I won. Okay, so it's going to show you won. All right, if you get to 5. But after all that, game over. So I need to get that happening. Again, that's a control thing, that stop all. I wish they just said game over, but they call it stop all or stop all of the codes from reoccurring. All right, let's test this thing out. I'm going to click the green flag. All right, oh, nothing's happening. I want the ball to start in the middle. And one more cool thing, if you click on the far right side, that 4-way square, your game or your large screen will actually show up. All right, let me go ahead and click the green arrow. Oh, it's all upset with me. All right, hang on. Got to move that ball in the middle. There we go. Now I'm going to use my green flag. Go. All right, I score 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha, 5. I won. And you notice the ball stopped. So, game over. And I won. Hey, cool. Congratulations. You have just made a video game. Thanks for your great programming.